I've been writing code for about over a decade at this point in time. So it's like I started off with writing Hello World style of writing code and moving from Notepad to IDEs. But the last 3 years has been pretty exciting for me because GitHub Copilot came out, then followed by Cursor, and then 18 months ago, everything pretty much changed for me. So if you guys understand what this means, I know you're pretty happy with what's happening with that, with the open lids. It's pretty much with Claude Code and other coding agents where you start prompting it and you let it write the code. You're just letting it write autonomously, just asking it to not just say hello world, but actually build the whole MVP by itself. So I'm pretty excited that this is an awesome moment for me as a developer who's building stuff. But I actually have a big challenge because I move around a lot. I travel a lot, I'm in the airport and everything else. So the big challenge is whenever the lid closes, my coding agents stop working. And then when I start back, I also forget what did I prompt and everything. So then what happened is I actually saw this on my LinkedIn pop up. Well, this is an imaginary thing that they're planning to sell. Hopefully one day Apple decides to build it. This is going to help ensure people like me don't accidentally close our lids. So I was just trying to ask myself what's actually happening, because now my workflow over the last 10 years has been pretty much sitting in front of the desk, writing code, to moving out and writing code using coding assistants. Now autonomously, the agents are writing. We are in a space where we are moving away from our traditional workflows and trying to adopt this new technology, which is the LLMs or AI. What we are trying to do is pretty much duct tape everything. So while people are talking about AI era, what struck me was we are actually heading in, or currently in a duct tape era, because we have all these old school technologies and new technologies coming in. What we are trying to do is try to mash up everything together and then tape them together. Literally, we're trying to, maybe if we have a whole rope, we're just going to tie them together to make sure it works. And looking through the whole thing, me from ClickHouse, what we realize is like the whole AI stack has evolved, but there's one part of the stack that has been completely overlooked, which is the data layer. So ClickHouse has been working with a lot of foundational model companies building agentic applications, and also organizations who are trying to adopt AI-based or AI-driven applications. So some of the things that we realize is like they are pretty excited right at the beginning. So they do a lot of POCs. They try to implement by adopting running pilots and having small groups of users. And the excitement slowly starts fading as we start getting into production. And there's a lot of reasons behind it. Either the application is not delivering the value that the organization is expecting, or there's adoption by users are not there because it's not serving their purpose, because they're moving away from traditional applications. So as we started digging deeper, one of the things that we realized is the overlooked part of data was caused by a fragmented setup. This fragmented setup didn't happen just during the AI era itself. It actually happened way before that, because we have been always designing applications based on trade-offs, what makes sense for us. Either it's cost or volume or simplicity and flexibility. We always design our underlying infra based on what we are trying to build and what's the ROI we're trying to get at. But with the AI era itself, everything is changing. The reason is AI is kind of like coming in as a massive abstraction layer. It does not matter which industry you're coming from, what kind of technology you're trying to interact with. You just pop in an AI layer and build something like an MCP layer or skills or whatnot. It suddenly can interact and bridge the gap between any user. You don't need to be a finance expert or a CFO to understand how your business is performing. You can pretty much ask an LLM which is sitting on top of your finance data and ask it to do a projection for the next 3 years. How is it going to look like with a lot of the variabilities you want to get into? So this is where like AI is changing everything. So with that, what's happening is we are moving away from the old world where we built applications where a user is communicating to an application and the application is connecting to a data infrastructure, to users working with agents which communicates to your data infrastructure, or agents talking to other agents and communicating with your data infrastructure. So suddenly there's an exponential need for you to serve your data to your end users who are humans and also AI agents. So with that, like the old way of how we decided between what kind of trade-offs based on what we needed and what the users will expect has changed. From very predefined, hard-coded stuff like where you had APIs which retrieves the last 10 transactions to now really looking at who are my users and slicing and dicing data at the speed of light. We can't rely on the existing or past data structures or data infrastructure we've been working with. So what we're looking at is like the old trade-offs are dead. We can't really rely on that and keep thinking about designing something for OLAP and OLTP. How do we kind of combine and actually have a single infrastructure which can support all of this? At the same time, it's cost efficient. As we start deploying any kinds of applications, the first thing most of my customers ask is like, hey, do you have an agentic solution? Pretty much anything from observability to finance or even healthcare when they want to actually do anything. Not just about the data models, it's really about, can I plug in this LLM on top of it? Do you support this in particular framework out there? So as we start looking at things like we look at AI as the last mile delivery agent. Previously, we used to think about, hey, are you going to have a web app or a desktop app? Now it's actually, hey, are you going to support a conversational system, either through text or voice? So that's where we're heading towards. So working with all these users over the last 3 years, we realized like having a single unified platform is going to become very essential. When talking about a unified platform, it does not have to be a single technology. It needs to be a package of technologies can work together as closely as possible to deliver the value that is required for the AI space. So then we started mapping out pretty much every other technology for the different verticals and the different use cases that's out there in the market. And we realized like just thinking about these 5 use case areas, right? There's tons of different technologies, everything specializing in a particular workload. Just imagine as a user for you to operationally work with this is going to be pretty hard, but just imagine now you need to make sure that your LLMs or your agents are going to be able to interact with every single piece of this technology at scale. It's going to be pretty much impossible. That's where like we started designing ClickHouse, which we already built for petabyte scale processing. How do you make sure that we can serve all this information to all these agents across all these verticals? The reason why we decided it is possible for ClickHouse to be able to do it is we're able to process petabyte scale data, and we are able to do that at low latency. That means you're not processing petabytes data, your agents are asking, and they are interactively working with your entire data warehouse. And the last and the most important part is it's able to serve this to thousands of users. I'm not talking about serving low latency queries for 1 or 2 users. This is talking about delivering this low latency capability for thousands of agents that is interacting with your data real time. So the overall package that we designed to do this is working with Postgres and ClickHouse combined together as part of a single platform where users or agents will just have a single interface. So everything else will be packaged as this open data architecture where you just have to lift and shift, drop it into your existing ecosystem. It does not matter whether you have legacy systems or new age systems. ClickHouse is able to fit into that particular architecture, delivering the value that is required for you. So this is both in the cloud as well as open source. So if you want to like customize it and deploy it into your on-premise systems and like do your own enhancements, you're able to do that as well. And as an open architecture, the idea is it's going to continue to evolve. And as you start onboarding more applications or a new tech stack, it will directly fit back into this. You're not going to make a break every single time you want to enhance or improve your ecosystem. So I just want to close off with a couple of takeaways that I realize it's very important for me and my customers, where like the trade-offs are dead. So if you're thinking about the first 3 things I spoke about, if you start designing your applications based on the trade-off, your system is dead on day 1 before it even goes live. The next part is you're not just serving your end customers anymore. Like you're actually serving agents, because agents are pretty much the future. The naming convention might change to something else, but humans are going to less and less interact directly with any kinds of systems. They're going to interact through an intermediary, which is now called as agents. The third part is, as I said, web applications, desktop applications are moving out. It's going to be more of like a conversational system made into a voice or a chat-based interface. So we need to think about how can we serve the application at scale. The fourth one is the most important thing for me, because as the AI stack we look at, most of the users talk to me about, hey, which model do I use? Or which frameworks do I use? Those are going to become irrelevant. Like as early as this morning, like Anthropic launched Fable, which is their latest and greatest model for the user. So it's like it's going to continuously evolve. Foundation models are going to get even better at what they do. And the frameworks that connects them to our data and application is also going to change. But the key thing that's going to stay close to a constant is the data infrastructure that we have. So we need to think about how do we build it. And the last part is the choice of your data infrastructure is going to limit how far your application is going to work. Because if imagine your user is going to ask some question to your agent and they're going to wait for the next 5 minutes for it to figure out something, the user experience is dead and they're not going to use that application. They'd rather go back to the Excel sheets or write a SQL query to get data out of it. So with that, stop duck taking and start building.